Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Recipe Tuesday. A recipe that I have for you this morning is one of my own personal recipes that I've made many, many times over, too many to count. Um, I want to talk about making my meatball subs, but to make my meatball subs, you have to make my spaghetti sauce. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to need. And this I can recite to you from memory because I know it so well. What you're going to need is you're going to need one medium sized yellow onion cut up. Then you're going to need garlic. You're more than welcome to use minced garlic that comes in the small jar. You will need roughly 2 teaspoons. Or you can get a head of garlic and peel them off and clean them and cut it and mash it. I use a wooden meat tenderizer to mash my garlic, and I put that in with my onions, but not right away. I let my onions cook a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to pour Pompeian extra virgin robust olive oil. You're going to put enough down on the bottom to coat the bottom of the pan. Then you're going to take your cut up onion, put that in there, and on medium high heat, cook the onion until it's a light golden brown. You'll see it turn. As soon as it starts to turn, that's when you go ahead and add in your garlic. You don't want to add the garlic right away because the garlic will cook faster than the onion will. Then you're going to cook that for a few minutes. Turn it down to about medium. On my stove, it would be about 5, maybe 4, and continue to cook it until the onions become brown. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your cans of tomato. I personally like to use Roma tomatoes for the simple fact that the acidity is less, which means you don't have to use as much sugar to kill the acidity while the sauce is cooking. So what you're going to need is you're going to need one 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, or you can use tomato puree. Tomato puree probably works better, at least from the batches that I've made, but I've used every kind of tomato there is. So one 28-ounce can of tomato puree, you're going to need one 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and you're also going to need one can of tomato paste. So when you get the onions and the garlic cooked, you're going to take your tomatoes and pour that in over it, your diced tomatoes, your tomato paste. You can also, now keep in mind, it also varies from family to family because that's roughly, for me to make that amount because it feeds me, my roommate, and there's some left over that I can repurpose and, you know, have some more spaghetti or pasta further in the week if I want it. What you can do is instead of one can of diced tomato, you can make it two. And I like to stick with brands like Tutoroso, Cento, Contadina. Those are three that I like to use. Does it have to be that specific brand? No, it does not. But that's what I prefer to use because it gives me the better flavor. As your sauce is cooking, you're going to take ground turkey or ground beef. I like to use 85, 90%. Put that in a bowl, one egg, basil, oregano, parsley. If you don't want to go the three separates, you can use Italian seasoning. I personally do not use breadcrumbs, but if you want to put it in there, you can add a little bit to it. It's not gonna hurt it. So as the sauce is cooking, I guess it gets about a third, maybe halfway. Go ahead after you've mixed all of your ingredients together, to create your meat mixture. Go ahead and take, a little bit of the hamburger meat or turkey or whatever, and roll it around and create um, a meatball. You're going to create a meatball about the size of a golf ball, possibly a little bit bigger, and then you're just going to take it and drop it in the sauce. Of course, you're going to see the sauce come to a light boil. That's when you want to add the meatballs. That's when I do it. Continue to do each one, add it to the sauce, continue, add to the sauce. Uh, my spaghetti sauce usually takes about an hour to cook total. Now, once you have everything in there, you're going to add about, again, This can vary. You're going to add roughly 1 tablespoon of sugar to kill the acidity. And I do like to use one small bay leaf in my sauce as well. And in the spaghetti sauce, I like to add parsley, oregano, and basil and cook that in. And once that's done, I like to get a good hoagie bread of some type. And what I'll do is I'll cut it, open it up once my sauce is done, and I'll get the meatballs and tomatoes and I'll put it, down in between. And then I'll get my favorite cheese. I usually like to use mozzarella, but you can use provolone, you can go Munster, um, whatever cheese you want, but I like mozzarella. I cut that up and I layer it. Then I stick it and toast it for a couple minutes, take it out, and enjoy. And that's pretty much how I go about making a meatball sub. I do need to include, once I pull it out of the oven or however you go to heat up, you know, to toast the bread and all that, I also like to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top of it. Parmesan cheese, Parmesan and Romano. There are so many different variations, but that is another one, another type of cheese that I like to put on there. And you just pretty much, if you want to eat it with a knife and fork, you can, or let it cool, cut it in half, eat it like you would a normal sub or a hoagie. And that's about it. What you can do with whatever leftover sauce you have that you can store in a container, put in your refrigerator, you can make spaghetti with it. Whatever kind of pasta you want, thin spaghetti, ziti, penne pasta, rigatoni, whatever you like. And that's another way to go about repurposing that sauce. Or you can make a meatloaf with it. You can put you can put the sauce in the meatloaf in place of the ketchup, which helps bring out the flavor. And so that gives you guys, a few ideas on what you can do. Anyway, if you want to give it a try, definitely do that. Like I said, the steps on how to go about making my spaghetti sauce is there. Definitely give it a try if you want to try it, and definitely feel free to mention down below, comment if you like. But I want to thank all of you for tuning in this nice, crisp, decent Tuesday morning I'm having here in Florida. And I will see you next time. Have a good day and have a good morning. Bye.